Good morning, good morning. It's Monday morning. This is Bernice Langley. I'm a specialist in autism and I'm also the CEO for World Changing Center in the UK, Sierra Leone, and US. Um, Happy Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. I just had this little nugget to share this morning before I step out to work and school close on Friday. So I'm very excited. I can have a break. So I'll finish my book. And today I just want to touch base about disability. A friend of mine that I used to work with in Greenwich Mencap when I was studying spoke to me last week and said, "Oh, Benice, are you going to be doing anything about disability in your country or something?" I went like, "No, I'm working with the children who don't have disability at the moment." So she was like, "Oh, if you need help, let me know." Because that was the charity I wanted to set up to work with disabled people in Sierra Leone after the war. But when I did the survey, we went to Sierra Leone, we did a lot of groundwork. We went to feed the amputees, we went to their camp in, is it Lomley? Wilkinson Road, something like that. And then we went to the camp in Waterloo where they were building the houses for them. So there was a lot of conflict with the person who was looking after these people. We have to boycott him to go and feed the people. It was a lot. So when I came back, I have to make a decision with my team. And because I have worked with all kinds of disabled children and young people in the UK, that's all I have done through my nursing training and my work with Greenwich Primary Care Trust and Great Ormond Street. So those are the work and all the hospital I've worked. So now I'm thinking I finished this final draft for my autism book. So now I'm thinking maybe I can just touch base about disability in the Black ethnic minority, but I'm specifically going to focus in Sierra Leone because that's my background, that's where I come from, so I know a lot about it. But I'm going to be talking to a few of these organizations that work with disabled people. My question is, we live in my culture, we're a very dependent culture. So I'm thinking of interdependent, dependent. We all dependent, we all independent or interdependent. I am interdependent. I need help, but not 100%. These people who are disabled in my culture, they are completely dependent. Even the ones who are not disabled. Is it time for us to start teaching them skills, life skills, so they can be interdependent and use each other's skills to form a job creation for themselves so they can feed themselves? Because it's about you using your skills in life to feed yourself. What if the person who is funding you or is supporting you passed away or something happened? You're going to fall back. You're going to be worse than you were. So I am a problem-solving oriented person. When I work with autistic children, I teach them how to be independent. We have to start teaching our people in Africa independent and interdependent. More of interdependent when we run this project. Because when we work in certain area, we don't want to work there forever. Like for us, WCC, we have a 5-year threshold in each community we work. After 5 years, we need to leave and go somewhere else. We don't work in one community. And this is why where we're working in Waterloo, that's going to be our main center, our main head office. But again, let me come back to the disabled people in our culture. If you have young people and children who are disabled, these people are going to grow. Some of them will have children because there was an issue in the UK where they said disabled people were not allowed to have children. And that caused a lot of conflict. Why? So these people in our culture, if they're having children, they're growing, their children are coming, these children are going to be looking after their parents. What about you teaching the parents a skill? So when that person have a child, they can look after their own children rather than these children go and do child labor. So I'm just trying to pick your brain here for us to think outside the box. And most of these disabled people in Africa, they can learn skills. If you see the Asian people, most of them from age 7, they teach them about IT technology. In our culture, do we teach what is the basic skill that everybody is supposed to know? If you go to the Chinese culture, because for me, education is not enough. My family believe in education. Our dad is very strong in education, but he taught us how to have skills, life skills. So if education is, you're not able to find a job in education, or the qualification you have, you can fall on other things, the skills you have. If you go back to the Jews, when there was a crisis before, they're very educated people, very intellectual, their distinction. The guy that's helped us at WCC when we started is a Jewish guy. The guy gets distinction, is a lecturer at Middlesex University. They have bakery. These are skills that we have to teach these people to be interdependent, to be independent first, and then interdependent. So if we teach them skills, life skills, sewing, threading, crocheting, you have mechanic, welding, you have carpentry, you have a lot of the skills where you can run as a project. So my third book is going to be talking about solutions. We'll talk briefly about the problem, but it's more on solutions. And the names we call some of this disabled people in Sierra Leone, is it time for us to change them? Because the West has changed all those names, and why are we still using those same names? And the people on the wheelchair, most of them, you can help them to be able to wheel themselves rather than somebody support them at the back. What if that person is not available or something happened to that person who is supporting them? What will happen to them? Is it not time for us to start changing these strategies? When we have children who are disabled in school, what life skill are you teaching them? Is it only about them going to school and read books? What's going to happen if they can't find job in the society? Because the society we live, the people who are not disabled, they don't have a job, let alone the ones who are disabled. So what strategies are we going to be implementing? Do you have an agency or a system where you will talk to some of these businesses, organizations, telling them, oh, we have disabled people here, physically challenged, like you call them. Can you employ them? Can they come and volunteer? Because it's like Einstein said, education is not about facts. Education is about training the mind. You're training their mind. Develop them. That's how you change people's mindset, and they're able to fend and develop themselves. So there are a lot of different kinds of disability. I'll just read few for you. I've worked with a lot, majority of them. I've worked with this kind of people, and I've seen how they train these people to become independent. Now, some of them are interdependent. They run their own business. Some of them are working in high places, and some of them are working in the library. You have some of them who are receptionists. So we have to have a job creation for our disabled people in Africa. We need to be able to include them. Inclusive practice is very important. We need to be able to help them. In our school, we're going to run a center, ASD center. But I'm thinking, I know because I said it's only for autistic children, other children might want to come in. So we have to start thinking, what option are we going to put in place? If a child is not disabled, if a child is not autistic, they're just disabled, can they use our facility? So we have to start thinking ahead, because we believe in standards. We believe in outcome. effectiveness. It has to be measurable. It has to be smart. It has to be effective. If something is not working, we cannot do it. So we have to weigh our options. So I'm kindly asking everybody, whoever is working with disabled people in Sierra Leone, especially children and young people, I would like to have a word with you. When my second book comes out, the third book, I've talked to my team, but what's happening is I'm gonna get some background information first in Sierra Leone. I have some, but I need more. It's nice to do more research. It's nice to be more informative than you just write. Yeah, I like to write so I can get evidence, solid evidence to back what I am saying. And I have some books on violence and abuse in the lives of people with disability. So I've done a lot of reading and textbooks. These are some of my books. Okay. There's another one. This one is Approaches to Needs Assessment in Children with Special Needs. So what I'm gonna do now, I'll just read the kinds of disability that we have. We have different kinds of disability. I think we have about 20 or more. I'll just read few of them, but we need to start teaching our young people, children and young people in Sierra Leone, to be more independent and interdependent. Okay, so we have to take them out of that dependent culture. It's not good. So I'm here. If you need help, we can join hands together and talk and discuss about it, because people who work with disabled children, they have more information because it's their daily work. So I'll be very, very happy when you watch this video if you can contact me. I need more information. So I believe together we can make a difference. For me, it's not about holding on to information. I don't hold anything, any information, any idea, anything that will help other people, because it's God that gave me that gift, and He gave it to me for a purpose. The purpose why He gave me that gift is to serve humanity, is to help other people. And the more I help, the more God bless me with more information. I don't keep information within myself, because what am I going to do with it? By the time I keep that information, a new one has come. What have I done with that old one? I should have blessed somebody else with it. So the more I learn, the more I give out. So everything I've learned over the years, that's what I'm putting in the book. I'm forming all of them into a book, write them, and part of my legacy. So my children, my great-grandchildren, all of them will read about me, so they will know what I did, who I was, how I was living. So it's nice to have that legacy, a legacy of diary. I have diaries that I normally put information. So they'll read about my diary, how I spent my day. They'll read about my books. They will read about the work I have done. So it's nice to leave legacies for our children's children. Okay. So, but again, one of the legacies that I know that we have to leave is a love legacy, but we don't have that love legacy in our culture because it was not passed on to us properly, some of us. So we don't know the how. But anyway, let me don't digress. So let me just read this different kind of disability for you to hear most of them. And then I will select few that I know affect Sierra Leone greatly, then I'll write about them and I will link them to my experiences here. Yeah, we have learning disability. We have a lot of learning disability, children and young people. I'm focusing on children and young people because that's my area of expertise. I'm not doing adults. Adults can do part of the young people, can be part of the young people as well, because in Sierra Leone, I don't know the age for the adults. So I believe for children, for young people in the UK is 10 to 19 or 10 to 19, yeah. or 10 to 18. It depends on their mental capability. But I don't know for Sierra Leone. So we have different kinds of disability. We have learning disability, cerebral palsy. We have mental disorder. We have autism. We have intellectual disability, multiple sclerosis, ADHD. We have epilepsy, blindness, developmental delay, vision impairment, dyslexia, physical disability, spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, deaf blindness, diabetes, bipolar. Some people call it bipolar or bipolar disorder, dyspraxia, invisible disability, neurological disability. So all of this disability, we have major ones. The ones that I have read on, the ones that I am expert on, learning disability, cerebral palsy, mental health disorder, autism, ADHD, epilepsy, blindness not too much, because I did I did work with children who have cochlear implant, deafness. I work with dyspraxia children, neurological disorder, visual impairment, dyslexia, physical disabled children, spinal cord injury children, traumatic brain injury. I work with some of them in Greater Ormond Street, in Greenwich Primary Care Trust, and some other hospitals. So, but I'll pick 3 or 4 which are really, really important in my culture. I know we have a lot of dyslexia people in Sierra Leone. We have a lot of mental health problem. We have a lot of autism, physical disability, disabled people. I can't remember the other one. So those are the 4 I'm thinking of. But if you think I can do with another one, then let me know, please. So I need your help, please. Have a lovely day. I'm off to work now. Again, Venice Langley. I'm just sharing my vision and my dreams, my gift. So I want to leave all my gifts that God gave to me. I'm leaving it here for the children and young people. I'm not taking it with me. So it's for them. So I don't compete with nobody. I compete with myself, making myself better. And everything God has given to me, I'll bring it out and I'll share it with you. So we all have something. So go and find out what gift you have that you can share with us. Somebody's waiting. Somebody's life depends on your gift and your talent. So let's go and make the world a better place. Have a lovely week and happy Christmas, happy New Year again.